current rates of depreciation, there will be enormous spillover benefits to small and medium enterprises. The National Electronics Policy 2012 is intended to promote manufacture of electronic goods in India. We recognize the pivotal role of semiconductor wafer fabs in the ecosystem of manufacture of electronics. I propose to provide appropriate incentives to semiconductor wafer fab manufacturing facilities, including zero customs duty for plant and machinery. Increasing savings and their optimal allocation for productive uses lead to higher economic growth. After touching a high of 36.8% in 2007-8, gross domestic saving fell by 6 percentage points in 2011-12. The private sector, comprising households and corporates, remains the main contributor to saving. The household sector must be incentivized to save in financial instruments rather than buy gold. Hence, I propose the following measures. Firstly, the Rajiv Gandhi Equity Savings Scheme will be liberalized to enable the first-time investor to invest in mutual funds as well as listed shares, and she can do so not in 1 year alone, but in 3 successive years. The income limit will be raised from rupees 10 lakh to rupees 12 lakhs. Secondly, a person taking a loan for his first home from a bank or a housing finance corporation up to rupees 25 lakhs during the period 1/4/2013 to 31/3/2014 will be entitled to an additional deduction of interest of up to rupees 1 lakh. This will promote home ownership and give a fillip to a number of industries like steel, cement, brick, wood, glass, etc., besides jobs to thousands of construction workers. Thirdly, in consultation with the RBI, I propose to introduce instruments that will protect savings from inflation, especially the savings of the poor and middle classes. These could be inflation-indexed bonds or inflation-indexed national security certificates. The structure and tenor of the instruments will be announced in due course. The Delhi-Mumbai Industrial Corridor project has made rapid progress. Plans for 7 new cities have been finalized, and work on 2 new smart industrial cities at Dholera, Gujarat, and Shendra Bitkin, Maharashtra, will start during 2013-14. We acknowledge the support of the government of Japan. In order to dispel any doubt about funding, I wish to make it clear that we shall provide, if required, additional funds during 2013-14 within the share of the Government of India in the overall outlay for the project. The Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion and the Japan International Cooperation Agency are currently preparing a comprehensive plan for the Chennai-Bengaluru Industrial Corridor. The corridor will be developed in collaboration with the governments of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and Karnataka. The next corridor will be the Bengaluru-Mumbai Industrial Corridor, on which preparatory work has started. To improve power supply in the Leh-Kargil region and connect the Ladakh region to the northern grid, the government will construct a transmission system from Srinagar to Leh at a cost of rupees 1,840 crore. I propose to provide rupees 226 crore in 2013-14 for the project. 2 new major ports will be established in Sagar, West Bengal, and in Andhra Pradesh to add 100 million tons of capacity. In addition, a new outer harbour will be developed in the VOC port at Thoothukudi, Tamil Nadu, through PPP at an estimated cost of rupees 7,500 crore. When completed, this will add 42 million tons of capacity. 5 inland waterways have been declared as national waterways. I'm happy to announce that the Minister of Water Resources will move a bill in Parliament to declare the Lakipur Banga stretch of River Barak in Assam as the 6th national waterway. Preparatory work is underway to build a grid connecting waterways, roads and ports. The 12th plan has an adequate outlay for capital works, including dredging on the national waterways. The objective is to choose barge operators through competitive bidding to transport bulk cargo on the national waterways. The first transport contract has been awarded in West Bengal from Haldia to Farakka. The oil and gas exploration policy will be reviewed to move from profit sharing to revenue sharing contracts. A policy to encourage exploration and production of shale gas will be announced. The natural gas pricing policy will be reviewed and uncertainties regarding pricing will be removed. NELP blocks that were awarded but are stalled will be cleared. The 5 MMTPA LNG terminal in Dabhol, Maharashtra will be fully operational in 2013-14. Despite abundant coal reserves, we continue to import large volumes of coal. Coal imports during the period April-December 2012 have crossed 100 million tons. It is estimated that imports will rise to 185 million tons in 2016-17. If the coal requirements of the existing power plants and the power plants that will come into operation by 31/3/2015 are taken into account, there is no alternative except to import coal and adopt a policy of blending and pooled pricing. In the medium to long term, we must reduce our dependence on imported coal. One of the ways forward is to devise a PPP policy framework with Coal India Limited as one of the partners in order to increase the production of coal for supply to power producers and other consumers. These matters are under active consideration and the Minister of Coal will announce government's policies in this behalf in due course. Honourable members are aware that the government has approved a scheme for the financial restructuring of DISCOMs to restore the health of the power sector. I would urge state governments to prepare the financial restructuring plans quickly, sign the MOU and take advantage of the scheme. Micro, small and medium enterprises have a large share of jobs, production and exports. Too many of them do not grow because of the fear of losing the benefits associated with staying small or medium. To encourage them to grow, I propose that the benefits or preferences enjoyed by them will stay with them for up to 3 years after they grow out of the category in which they obtain the benefit. To begin with, I propose that the non-tax benefits may be made available to MSME unit for 3 years after it graduates to a higher category. To provide greater support to MSMEs, I propose to enhance the refinancing capability of SIDBI from the current level of rupees 5,000 crore to rupees 10,000 crore per year. SIDBI set up the India Microfinance Equity Fund in 2011-12 with budgetary support of rupees 100 crore to provide equity and quasi-equity to microfinance institutions. An amount of rupees 104 crore has been committed to 37 MFIs. I have allocated rupees 100 crore to the IMA fund in the budget and I now propose to provide another sum of 100 crore to the fund. The Factoring Act 2011 has been passed by Parliament. I propose to provide a corpus of rupees 500 crore to SIDBI to set up a credit guarantee fund for factoring. Tool rooms and technology development centers set up by the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises have done well in extending technology and design support to small businesses. I propose to provide with World Bank assistance a sum of rupees 2,200 crore during the 12th plan period to set up 15 additional centers. Incubators play an important role in mentoring new businesses which start as a small or medium business. The new Companies Bill obliges companies to spend 2% of average net profits under corporate social responsibility. I am glad to announce that the Ministry of Corporate Affairs will notify that funds provided to technology incubators located within academic institutions and approved by the Ministry of Science and Technology or Ministry of MSME will qualify as CSR expenditure. I propose to continue the Technology Upgradation Fund scheme for the textile sector in the 12th plan with an investment target of 1,51,000 crore rupees. The major focus would be on modernization of the power loom sector. I propose to provide rupees 2,400 crore in 2013-14 for the purpose. Textile parks have been set up under Scheme for Integrated Textile Parks, SITP. It is proposed to set up apparel parks within the SITPs to house apparel manufacturing units. To incentivize such apparel parks, I propose to allocate rupees 50 crore to the Ministry of Textiles to provide an additional grant of up to rupees 10 crore to each park. A new scheme with an outlay of rupees 500 crore called the Integrated Processing Development Scheme will be implemented in the 12th plan to address the environmental concerns of the textile industry, including improving the effluent treatment infrastructure. I propose to provide rupees 50 crore in 2013-14 for the scheme. Madam Speaker, the handloom sector is in distress. A very large proportion of handloom weavers are women and belong mainly to the backward classes. I propose to accept their demand for working capital and term loans at a concessional interest of 6%. 1,50,000 individual weavers and 1,800 primary cooperative societies will benefit in 2013-14. I propose to allocate an additional sum of rupees 96 crore in 2013-14 to the Ministry of Textiles for interest subvention. India has a rich heritage of traditional industries. Khadi, village industries and Koya were taken up for development during the 11th plan under the scheme of fund for regeneration of traditional industries. The 12th plan has provided an outlay of rupees 850 crore. I propose to leverage assistance from multilateral development banks to extend SFURTI to 800 clusters during the 12th plan. 4 lakh artisans are expected to be benefited. I look forward to the changes that will be made by my colleague, the Minister of Commerce, to the foreign trade policy next month, and I assure my support to measures that will be taken to boost exports of goods and services. The financial sector is at the heart of the economy. Honorable members are aware that government constituted the Financial Sector Legislative Reforms Commission, FSLRC, in 2011. I'm informed that the report will be presented next month. It is our intention to examine the recommendations and act quickly and decisively so that our financial sector stands on sound legal foundations and remains well-regulated, efficient, and internationally competitive. I propose to constitute a standing council of experts in the Ministry of Finance to analyze the international competitiveness of the Indian financial sector, periodically examine the transaction costs of doing business in the Indian market, and provide inputs to government for necessary action. Our public sector banks are well regulated. They must also be adequately capitalized. Before the end of March 2013, we shall provide rupees 12,517 crore to infuse additional capital into 13 public sector banks. In 2013-14, I propose to provide a further amount of rupees 14,000 crore for capital infusion. We shall ensure that public sector banks always meet the Basel III regulations as they come into force in a phased manner. Financial inclusion has made rapid strides. All scheduled commercial banks and all RRBs are on core banking solution and on the electronic payment systems NEFT and RTGS. we are working with RBI and NABARD to bring all other banks, including some cooperative banks, on CBS and e-payment systems by 31/12/2013.